In preparing the job site, care should be taken to keep existing structures and flatwork clean and free of splatters. Cover the surrounding area with plastic sheet or craft paper. The underlayment should be a crusher base or construction sand at least 1 inch thick over a well-compacted or undisturbed subgrade. This will allow for uniform drainage of moisture from the wet concrete. This job used expansion felt where the slab meets the structure. At other areas adjacent to the structure, the slab was held 1 foot away from the wall. This is preferred where possible since it simplifies the work. Prior to pouring, wet down the underlayment to the point of runoff, but do not leave any puddles. This will, under normal conditions, prevent moisture from being unduly drawn from the wet concrete. Since we are working with conventional concrete, the designer may call for any type of reinforcement which might normally be used. This job calls for both half-inch rebar and Fiberlock polyester fiber, shown here, using 1 pound of Fiberlock to each cubic yard of concrete. In texture mat work, any type of conventional concrete mix may be used, from a pump mix to a 5-sack with 3/4 inch rock. Use a 4-inch slump. This will minimize the amount of bleed water that will come to the surface and help you get on the concrete faster than with a wetter mix. After the concrete is placed and routed off, use a wood bull float and a wood hand float to smooth out the concrete. When the concrete has been smoothed out, begin applying the color hardener using the broadcast method. This will provide a richer, longer-lasting color, but more importantly, the color hardener will absorb any bleed water. A single application is usually sufficient, although some additional color may have to be added after the color is worked in. Here, a Fresno is used to work in the color. It is important to keep the concrete flush at the edge of the slab. Do not allow the concrete to be worked down below the top of the form, since the mats will be overlapping the forms. This will minimize any handwork. Edging the concrete is done as with a conventional slab. Again, taking care not to depress the edge of the slab below the forms. Control joints should be designed into the slab as you would with any conventional slab. Here, a groover is used to form the control joint. Expansion material or saw cuts may also be used. Test the concrete periodically for its degree of set. When the concrete yields to steady pressure, but is not mushy, it is ready for a trial placement. When the concrete is ready to be embossed, use a Fresno to smooth out any remaining deep lines or marks. We recommend a particle mask be used when applying color or powdered release agent. Broadcast the release powder evenly over the area to be worked, taking care not to apply the release too thick. A too thick application will minimize detail. Too little release agent will allow cement to stick to the mat. Fluff the release as you go, since the material tends to pack down in shipment. The first few mats placed are the most important. Any design with straight bond lines, such as the ashlar cut stone being shown here, should be referenced against a wall or a straight line. Other designs, such as the random stone, need no reference. Place the mats on the concrete, one after another, taking care to keep the tools tight together. This is probably the most important thing to remember. Keep the tools tight. This will prevent double lines and keep the tools running true. Different colored mats denote different layouts of the same pattern, so try not to place the same colored mats next to one another. This will minimize any repeat of the pattern. The tools needn't be hit hard. Remember, the tools are bottomed out against the concrete, not driven into the concrete. Here the tools are overlapping the form. The overlapping tool should be supported and not allowed to droop over the edge of the form. When working toward a wall, the flexible textured tools can be bent to fill in the space as needed. After the embossing has been completed, the concrete should be allowed to set for 3 days or more. At this point, the cleanup, pressure washing, and sealer coat application can be completed. Sweep off the excess release agent. The pressure washing will remove as much of the residue from the release agent as is required to expose the desired color effect. The variation in colors or shades of color will highlight the texture of the embossed concrete. A leaf blower can be used to dry up surface moisture so that the cleanup and finish application can be completed in 1 day. We recommend a high-quality acrylic sealer, such as Gem Seal in a 2-coat application. This will bring up the richness of the colors and preserve the beauty. With a basic knowledge of concrete and by following the steps shown in this video, you can achieve good quality textured concrete time after time. In addition to the ashlar stone, several styles of embossing designs are available. 18 by 18 slate, castle stone, European fan, flagstone, London cobble, Pennsylvania cobble, Yucatan. These are a few of the more than 150 designs available from Rathco Products.